Chapter 6397. Hearing Charlie's reminder. Maria looked carefully at the sky and saw countless light spots flickering, and there seemed to be no pattern. There were too many light spots that lit up or dimmed at the same time. If you don't find the right frequency, it would be difficult to see what kind of pattern changes there are. She said to Charlie truthfully, "Young master, in my opinion, these light spots flicker without any pattern. I really can't see any graphic gestures." Charlie suddenly said, "Look, another gesture has changed." Maria hurriedly looked, but the light spots in the sky still couldn't see any pattern. But in Charlie's eyes, the gesture changes were very clear. The light spots in the sky were just like a group of artificially controlled performance drones, showing him the pattern made up of light spots according to a preset program. Maria stared wide-eyed and didn't dare to blink. But she stared closely and didn't see any clues for a long time. On the other hand, Charlie had already seen the eighth gesture from the chaotic changes in the light spots. At this time, Charlie had realized what these 8 gestures represented. This is not just as simple as 8 different gestures, but represents 8 different transformations. And these 8 different transformations, when combined together, form a handprint. There have been relevant records in the Jiuquan Tianjing. Both Taoism and Buddhism have magical skills of pinching the fingers and making seals. The fingers and palms are in a specific way, in a specific position, and form a specific posture. And then through a specific series of changes, they evolve into a coherent handprint. This is the key to pinching the fingers and making seals. This kind of handprint, strictly speaking, is a formation composed of gestures and then driven by spiritual energy. If the magical power is reached, it can even have the ability to destroy the world. At this time, Charlie has memorized the 8 gestures, and at the same time, he is more confused. He really can't figure out what kind of power can transform the aurora in the sky into a handprint and let himself see it. This is clearly imagining himself getting a preaching, but who is the preacher? Could it be that there are masters who are practicing in this uninhabited place near the Arctic Circle? Thinking of this, Charlie subconsciously wanted to release some spiritual energy and carefully check the surrounding environment. However, he gave up this idea after thinking about it. Since the other party could even control and influence the aurora, and he could do such extreme micromanipulation of the aurora, this strength was far above his own. And it was not an exaggeration to say that he had great magical powers. In this case, since the other party was unwilling to show up, why should he bother himself? What's more, he didn't have any bad intentions, but wanted to take this opportunity to preach to him. Moreover, he was in the light and the other one was in the dark, and his strength was not as good as his. It was probably a foolish dream to find him out. So Charlie did not make any impulsive behavior, but kept staring at the handprints in the sky. It was said to be 8 handprints, but in fact it was 8 handprints and 7 changes. From the first handprint to the second handprint, it was not as simple as making 2 different handprints, but every detail of the handprint evolution had to be exactly the same. It was like changing from opening the 5 fingers to making a fist. Under normal circumstances, you would think that you could make a fist by simply contracting the 5 fingers inward at the same time. But if it is a hand seal, the hand seal that really works may require the 5 fingers to be alternately put together to form a fist like a folding fan. It may even require that the little finger must be first and the thumb must be last. There are also very strict requirements for the angle and distance between each finger. If the 2 hand seals are wrong in the process of evolution, the hand seal will have no effect.